Welcome back to Brokers of Secrets. Today we have my friend Shawn Pollard, and he's an entrepreneur who has done a lot of wonderful things from the automotive industry all the way to now helping men succeed with their family, keeping families together. And in between, he has helped scale other sales companies as well as other companies that provide skills to people who desperately need them. And he has blessed a lot of lives. Now, we did just meet, yet the energy that he has, the person that he is, I'm super excited to get to know him and for you guys to get to know him. And I'm going to have him introduce himself without reservation. And it doesn't have to be a conventional or non-conventional answer. You can say anything you want.
Wow. And just let it rip, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never done that before. I'm more the guy that's in the back, number two in companies and kind of in the back doing my thing.
And you're freaking good at it, as I've heard.
I think I'm pretty good at it. I enjoy it very much. For years I ran dealerships my whole life. The most important and the most thing that I am proud of is a 29-year marriage. And we've been through it all, right? She knows my lies. She knows my vulnerability. She's big enough and has done the deep work to take me on and be able to deal with my vulnerability. So that's what I'm most proud of, is a 29-year marriage and
you
3
still
wonderful
look like
kids.
You're 29. So you got married when you were born, like arranged marriage?
Young.
Okay.
Arranged marriage. This is who you're going to marry. This is how it's going to be. This is the wealth plan we have laid out for you.
I love it.
I wish it was that simple. Just 2 kids that fell in love. She was the first woman at 18. We were 17 when we met. And she was the first girl that told me, I don't need you. And I was dating cheerleaders and the blondes and all that stuff. I was a wrestler and a football player. And I met her for the first time, and she was completely different than anything I've ever met. And she had this way about her that was different. And when she told me she didn't need me or I don't need you, I want you in my life at 17, and it drew me to her. No girl had ever told me that. They were all falling at my feet to want to go hang out and date me or whatever. So that was new. That was first. And she just captured me. From there, we started our life. We had a child very young. Right after we got together, we had a child, had 2 children. And then for 22 years, I ran dealerships and made millions and millions of dollars. And I realized that I had an addiction problem. My best friend was murdered, and it caused me to spiral. I think we'll talk about that later. But then 4 years after coming out of the dark at 24, I locked into the automotive space. And from 24 to 34, I built a little empire for ourselves. And then I fell into drugs and alcohol hard at 34 when my son almost died. 2019, I make the decision, clean and sober, done. I'm done doing this. I found a business partner at 2019, and from 2019 to 2023, we built one of the largest sales training company B2C in the country, if not the largest. I don't have the exact numbers, but we absolutely just cared for people at a level that I don't think a lot of people have seen. And we dominated the automotive space for 5 years. I was with them for 5 years and a couple months. And we did things in numbers to millions of dollars that when you say it to people, they don't believe it. The year I left, we did $37 million in digital sales, course sales. It's like, who's doing that? And we weren't even running ads up to about 3.5 years in.
Wow.
To architect that, I decided in 2020, I know sales, I'm really good at the front end. I need to learn back end. I need to learn operations, CRMs, automations, real pipeline automation that speak to the client on the level that they come in at. And I got great at crafting messages, emails, text messages that made you feel like we were speaking to you as we knew you personally. We would do research on people and put them in separate buckets and pipelines. And the return on it was so massive that I just fell in love with that process. And so I started telling myself I'm the greatest number 2 in the world, and made millions of dollars along the way for myself. After that separation, I ran a company for a company called Seventh Level for a year. And it was another powerful run. We went from 2.3 million, utilizing the same processes on back-end systems, automations, and the right messaging to the right people as when they came. If they came in on a book or they came in on a reel, that reel or that book that they came in on, the messaging that was automated spoke to them at that level and ascended them naturally. We went from 2.3 million when I got there to 4.1 million on month 4. And we averaged about 3.6 during my duration there. And it was a lot of fun helping people, serving people, started the B2B division. And what I realized is that no matter who you are, people need help and they need to do it in a group. And that's what I came to the conclusion to. No matter where you are in your life, you need help, and you need to do it in a group, and you need to do it in a community. And that was the process that we built everything around, was community and making sure our brothers and sisters were taken care of, and no one left behind was the motto. And we worked diligently to make sure that if you didn't have money, we gave you the value and we gave you the structure. We let you into the free community, made sure you did the work until you did, and then personally invest in yourself. And it was one of the most rewarding times of my life. And then I went out on my own.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never had someone give such an answer that's so concrete, yet so heartwarming at the same time.
I appreciate it, man.
I can sense there was a lot of empathy in how you deliberately went from one to another.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I think that's the past. That's the heartbreak of my past. I think that it gives me that. At least that's what my mother and my grandma would say. I used to think I was soft, even though I'm a state championship wrestler. I have accolades in high school in sports. And I always thought that I was just a soft person. And my grandmother said, no, that's the alpha. I was raised by women too. So, that probably has a lot to do with it. But for my best friend being murdered, 4 months later, that crew that I ran with in high school, my buddy Corey was paralyzed. Oh, wow. And then a year after that, my best friend Noble was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. And then 10 years after that, my son almost died. My youngest son, he was a miracle baby, lucky to be here. And so all I knew was pain for so long in waves. And that's what drove me to very, very addictive habits with prescription pills and drinking when I was 34, was my son getting sick. And then the memories and then the nightmares of Riley. They were dying together in my dreams.
Wow.
And it almost drove me mad. It was crazy. I couldn't function. And then when I would take drink and take pills, I wouldn't think of it. It was the only way I could sleep for a period of time. Well, for about 5.5 years, 6 years. And that's when I destroyed my life. I imploded that way. But I tell you that because I think that the empathy for people that I have is because of those things that have happened to me. And I really do care. I don't like people suffering. Yeah, I don't. And so I've learned to not force it, but I know how to go all in on somebody when they wave their hand and go, I don't know what to do, but I am ready to change. Oh, dude, you're my guy. Like I can help you. And so I built programs that would help people like that, right? That maybe don't have money, but want to change. And then I have my higher end programs that if you're doing a couple $1 million a year as a man, or $4 million, whatever that might be, you're doing very well. But you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't like my life. My wife can't stand me.
There are many.
I got all my money and my kids don't look up to me as a superhero. And my wife thinks about another man. This is not how it's supposed to be. And that's where my training and coaching came in. And it's very selective at that level. But for most men, I do 99% of the work for free until they're ready. Because you can't sell someone on changing their life. Like, do this work for free. Let's see you do this. And let's see your commitment and watch what happens to your life. And when they do the free work and then they change, I got them. I got them because now they've seen the result. Now I can take them to that next level.
I see.
Yeah.
So the pain fueled the addiction, but then the addiction turned into falling in love with helping people.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound that different.
Mm-hmm.
One is the easing of the suffering and the pain through addiction, but the other one is easing of the pain and suffering through helping people.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't really look at it like that at all. But yes, that's exactly what it is. I mean, when you say it like that, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know? No, I have this motto, no one left behind. And I'm good at self-sabotaging. I can see it in people. I can see pain in their eyes. I mean, it's like when I speak to somebody and they're telling me their life is great and I can just see this aura about them, like, you're not being truthful. And I've at events pulled people aside and said, hey, that was great in front of everybody. You well played. You sounded amazing, but I can tell in your eyes and the way you're looking at people that you're not okay. Like, do you want to talk? This is kind of what I do. Boom. 1 in 5 will completely break down and tell me everything at an event. And I don't even know them. we're just in a circle and doing introducts. 2 out of 5 will kind of lead in like, yeah, I would like to talk to somebody. But I don't really know where to go with it. They're not really open, but they're curious. Like, how does he know?
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are just kind of gun shy to where they don't want to be vulnerable and they don't want anybody to know that deep, dark thing that's holding them back is even there. They will actually come around after they watch some of my content and kind of see what I put out. They'll come around and people will reach out to me. Hey, do you remember me at the Aspire event or whatever event it might be, or the Zooms that I do for free? They'll come around. And it's the most fulfilling thing that I do in my own journey of trying to figure it out, self-develop, continue to find fulfillment. Because guys like me, if we're not finding that fulfillment or pushing the needle, I know the other side of Shawn. If I'm not hanging with my wife, hanging out with my kid, and now my kids left, they moved out, right? They grew up, they moved out all of a sudden within a week. That just happened 2 weeks ago. Oh. And they gave me a week notice and they moved out. So I have to fill time.
What are you going to do?
Fill time.
Okay.
Figure something out. Weekends are different because I spend a lot of my weekends with my kids. They're older. They're 25 and 19, but I was very close with my daughter. I made her a deal. I said, you stay home, get your master's. I'll pay for everything. You do not need to go experience college in this fashion.
Wow.
So stay home with me. Let me really start helping you become
You helped her big time.
A woman and understand what you're getting into in life. And she listened. She stayed.
Oh.
She saved up 60 grand. 60 grand. Didn't work, but a serving job. Got her master's, and now her and my son are going to go travel together and figure out some life. And then when she comes back, she has her whole life ahead of her.
It's beautiful.
And so them leaving, those are the minutes I need to fill now. I think I'm just going to do more coaching and pay close attention to my wife and my dogs. I got everything that I want.
So why fill those time?
Instead of just like relax or pick up a hobby?
I mean, not necessarily, but just like, what's the purpose behind it? I'm just curious. Because you said you need to fill the time because you know the other side of Shawn.
Addictive behavior, if not channeled the right direction in business, being addicted to your wife, being addicted to your children, it could be a really good thing. That is a good thing for me. I give them massive love. But if I'm just idle mind can go dark real quick with me.
I think we found something. We don't have to go down this path, but I'm curious if we can explore it a little bit.
Yeah? Sure.
Because there's a presupposed scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've mastered the addiction. So right now to say that Shawn has addiction and he has to choose what to be addicted to might be a little late, maybe the word, because you've overcome it. This is my read so far.
Okay. I'm open to it. I'm open to whatever you have to say. I'm curious. Yeah.
I suspect that I'm not saying don't do stuff, right? Like being someone as productive as you, like you're literally like saving the world. I'm sitting here admiring you like Superman. So, and I'm serious.
Wow. That means a lot.
Just what you're saying to me. And I'm like, we need more people like you. And not only are you taking action, you're doing it with heart. This is like one of the rarest combinations.
Oh, thank you.
So there's no reason to not do it, right? Like to continue it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even pray for more people like you. Like this is genuinely, I mean, I would say one of the biggest, most wonderful things to meet someone like yourself who's doing this with heart.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
It's everything to me. That's why I fill my time. Like when I say I need to fill my time, for the first time I reached out to someone to help me build my brand.
Yeah.
I had never been interested in doing that. And I just did that 3 days ago to fill my time. Okay, let me start shooting the content that I want to shoot now. The reels, the words that I want to say to the men that I want to help. And then the business operators that I know a couple tweaks, I can turn your company around.
Yeah.
And I said, for years, I hadn't done it. Not interested, no desire to. Well, now I'm like, okay, well, I have some extra time. My kids aren't here. I don't have the things planned with my children. And I decided a week ago to change my brand and start doing more to it, doing more with it.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to a gentleman 3 days ago, did a brand audit of the type of content and what I need to do. And I'd never been interested in that. And so I want to get the word out more.
Amazing.
I've seen my work inside companies and it starts with the man. And then what happens with their companies, Oh man, it's the greatest thing in the world.
I have total confidence you do great work.
Greatest thing in the world.
People that have addictive personalities tend to do great work when they're really focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what happens when you can just be addicted to things that are really good and not be addicted to anything else that's not good? If those two coexist as a pattern, what would happen? It doesn't have to be a global statement, right?
No, I know. I don't know. But I feel like sometimes when I think about that, it's like, would I lose my edge?
Would you?
I don't know.
I think you get to decide.
You know, I think that's a really good question.
I think you get to decide. It's like, you know,
I've
when
never thought of that.
Get on your computer, there's like a global setting. You can turn the whole thing dark theme or light theme, right? But you could just go to the browser and make it dark theme or light theme. It doesn't have to affect anything else.
That was good,
right?
Man. Wow, that was really good. Yeah.
So
you're right.
I think that you could be completely at peace. Because here's the thing. What's interesting about Western philosophy is we talk a lot about being idle is not good, but they never classify what idle is, right? Yeah. But then in Eastern philosophy, they make it extremely abundantly clear. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just that they say that wanting nothing, doing nothing sometimes is the superior state. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, right? I'm very similar in ways that I'm like, if I have free time, I'm like, I want to work. I love work. I love the work I do. So I want to do more. That being said, there is this dichotomy of peace and addictively working, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the global setting here is you don't have to be addicted to just everything, right? Like anything that you fill your time with. You could be addicted to your wife, to loving your kids, to doing great work, serving people, helping men, literally changing the world. And then you can also be addicted to taking care of yourself with your free time, chilling and doing absolutely nothing for appropriate amount of time, whatever that means, right? And of course, I might be giving you an extremely limited version of what that means. It's up to you because sometimes it's about exploring what you really want, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm curious then, another question for you is that if you were to have, I heard another statement about how the other Shawn.
Yeah.
Right?
I haven't said that in a while.
What happens if you integrate the two Shawns completely so that you get to share all the resources from the light and the dark, but now you get to decide where that energy goes? Because there's power in the darkness, but oftentimes we just tug it away because we're like, I don't want to face it. I don't want to touch it. It's not good. It's evil. We judge it too hard. And, you know, some people say that's the shadow work, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just saying, oh, I'm going to do some shadow work, I'm curious, what are the benefits of the dark side? And this is a fun little conversation because most of us don't look at it and say there's benefits. But I'm curious if you have some thoughts, what the benefits may be on the.
I can tell you this. My friend was murdered and he died in my arms. And
wow.
Old Shawn went and found out who it was. Now you're taking a goofy high school state championship wrestler, funny guy, all heart, all soul back then. And when that happened, I became a very vengeful person. And I tracked the guys down, one of them, and I almost killed him. I've never told this story. I put a 9mm in his mouth and almost blew his head off. And when I looked into his eyes, I saw fear. And then something told me very loud, you're not an executioner. And I ran. I took off. And 4 months later, they were all tried in court. 6 months after that, they were all convicted. And 2 of them are still in prison. And
you're free.
Not only of that, but what I became after that, the fights. I never pushed a fight, never tried to fight, didn't want to fight. But if you did something, there was no talking I was just swinging on you. A very out of control person, and that's not who I was. It took a lot to put him away, that version of me, I think it's what you call it, right?
Oh, interesting.
And so
Can we go backward a little
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah.
What changed? Like, at what moment did you notice that something changed and then you went from the old Shawn, the sweet all heart, the soft, to the vengeful, swinging Shawn?
When they took Riley from me, they took me to the station for questioning. And I was being questioned like I had an involvement in it. And I was so angry. And I ended up pushing the sheriffs, and it got pretty wild at the police station. I was so angry at them for thinking that I had anything to do with this. And I understand that's their job now, right? There's a line of questioning that has to happen. 4 days later, you just don't want to, you're 18 years old, man. What do you do with this? How do you even possibly program this? And knowing what I know now versus what I knew then and what I was going through, I didn't know subconscious. I didn't know central nervous system shock. I didn't know any of that and what that meant.
Right.
Those weren't words we even spoke about. And there wasn't really nobody that was there to help me. They wanted to, hey, go see therapy, go do this, XYZ. 5 days later, my wife was looking in my eyes, holding my face like this gently, and says, my Shawn is gone, and we're going to get him back.
Wow.
Okay. You're not going to hold on to this. You're going to have to forgive. And this is an 18-year-old girl, right? Telling me this.
Freaking brilliant.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's why I stayed with her for 29 years. She was just so powerful back then. And something inside of me was different. I don't know how to explain it. I was angry. Every day I woke up, I was angry. I was just
I could imagine
angry. And then it festered to where I had to control the anger, to where I had to tell my wife, please stop, get the fuck away from me right now. You go another step, I'm going to lose my mind. I was never like that. I was never like that to her, ever. I'm powerful. I know how to, I've been wrestling my whole life. I've won state. Like, I can do real bad things to people if I wanted to. And I was never like that. And so when did it happen? After he died. And I worked very hard for 4 years. But then right after that happened, 6 months later, Corey was paralyzed by a motorcycle accident. I was supposed to be there that day, but I had to work. And I told myself, if I would have been there, he wouldn't have got paralyzed. And then a year after that, my buddy Noble was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on, dude? I'm 20 years old and all these things had happened and I'm losing my mind. And anybody who says anything, for instance, we're at a bar. The guy goes, what are you looking at? Me? Boom. No one does that. What are you looking at? I'm not looking at anything. I'm not trying to have any issues with you. But if people did that, I swung immediately. There was no talking about it. And it became a very vengeful thing. And then I found out where this guy lived. I hunted him down and I studied him for a week. And I got into an apartment where there was a party. I snuck into this dude's home while they were having a party, found him, kept my hoodie on, head down, watched him walk into a bathroom and went into that bathroom, shut the door, cornered him, pistol whipped him, and shoved a gun in his mouth. Everything was different. It was these ruthless thoughts of wanting vengeance. And then that's when the voice came, you're not an executioner. And I literally pulled the gun out of his mouth, sat down against the wall, staring at him. He's staring at me, just like shaking, fear like I have never seen before in my life. And I hit him one more time to make sure he was knocked out so he wouldn't scream. Because now I got to get out of the house. My plans weren't to leave the house. Like, it was all thought up of what I was going to do. And if I didn't make it, I didn't make it. But at least he's done. Like, it was very dark. So I had to come back from that. And it was an intense time. And so when Riley died, it was almost a piece of me died. To this day, I don't think I got it back.
Would you like it back?
I think anybody would. I don't know if it's possible. And that's the question.
I got you.
That's the question I've been seeking for a long time. I think that when something like that happens to you, it's a part of the mourning process. Like, I miss him still. Think about him still.
Of course.
But should it be that much?
You can miss him and mourn for him and you can get your peace back.
Yeah.
Would you like that?
That would be unbelievable to me. Like unbelievable.
You don't need to believe.
Okay. Well, I'll believe if that's what you're saying. I've never met anybody that could come close to making me feel like it could happen. I just felt that was a part of life, and that happened to me. Deal with it. Build on it. And then as I got older, got out of the car business, really. The car business was just a mass for all these years to make money. It was never something I was excited to go do every day. I did have a wrestling club, and I would coach young boys to wrestle.
Wait, before we move on,
okay.
Let's talk about that piece for a moment.
Okay.
What would happen if that piece were to come back and merge with you, fully integrate, and you become whole again? What would happen?
I think there's a version of me that's been dormant that I'd like to meet. I think there's a dude inside that can do massive things bigger than what I've done today with businesses and businessmen and marriages that I've worked in. Me and my wife have worked in 16 marriages and got them to stop from having divorce. I think there's a version of me that could go to a level that I can't even possibly fathom, but it comes to me in dreams sometimes.
I suspect, now tell me if I'm completely wrong, yeah? I suspect that not only did you have a Shawn that you shut away, that's the vengeful one.
Yeah.
But there's another Shawn that you put away. And that's the piece that you're talking about. Am I along the line of being correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you nailed it. There's that version that's right in the middle, maybe. And that's the one that knows to protect and provide. But I don't know peace like I used to. I remember it. I remember what peace was like for me when I was younger, before Riley was murdered. The type of friends that I had, the things that I would do to take care of people. Tutor at a mentally challenged school for children in kindergarten or elementary. I used to tutor there before Riley died. Little things like that kind of all went away. And then the vengeful side, I don't even know how to describe it, but and it's more than dark. It's I would say vengeful. Maybe let's just go with vengeful. If I were to learn how to calibrate myself and take all of it in and create a new identity, I guess it would be maybe less of a mask, but really me. I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah, it won't be a creation. It would be returning to your real self.
Yeah.
Because that piece of you will return and the vengeful version of you would dissolve naturally and all of the resources will come back in. Because that was never really the you. It was that was the illusion that was created. The real you had to go stay away for that version to exist. But you put that version away, this one still didn't come back. That's why that, for a long time, you haven't felt like it's possible.
Yeah.
So what happens is you're saying that you would do even more massive things.
I believe that. I believe I take on the roles that I need to take on. I don't think I would hesitate a moment on this social media piece I have to build properly to help people. That wouldn't have been a hesitation this whole time. I wouldn't have procrastinated on that. My belief. I know it's in there somewhere, but I just don't know how to get it away and rid it of what I've been doing. It's just like it's my operational system now, and I would like to remove that. That'd be
Can we do something right now that helps you integrate?
Sure.
And bring back the so-called missing piece?
Yeah.
You want to experiment?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think you'll know once that does work.
Okay.
When it does work, you'll know that feeling because that piece you did know, you do remember, but it's just sort of in the distance past,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But the past is also an illusion. It's right here, right now. We can actually bring it back.
Okay.
So if you're down for it, it may take 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. So it's a very simple process. I'm going to ask you a few questions, likely going to be the same question I'm going to ask over and over again, but the same question will actually nudge on the boundary. Because right now, let me describe to you visually. That original Shawn, if we can call that soft, caring, take care of people Shawn, the one who knew peace, right? Or knows peace. He is contained in a boundary right now. We need to find the boundary and break the boundary, and it will naturally merge back in. And then the other vengeful Shawn only existed because you put this one away. Because the moment this one comes back, that dissolves. It's not even really, it's an illusion, right? It's an inverted version of the real you. But if you didn't put this one away, this couldn't be created. So by bringing this back, this disappears.
Okay.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Listening.
So all we have to do is integrate the original Shawn and the you now, and the integration will create the full power, wholeness, the full power Shawn. So far, so good.
Yeah, I'm clear.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll believe your words. I'm fascinated by what you're saying right now.
Yeah, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to experience it. So let's do this.
Okay.
This is a process. Now, I'm not going to guarantee it's going to work because it depends on you.
Yeah.
But I sense that you do want it, and that's the only requirement.
Okay.
You want it, right?
I want it.
Okay. Well, I can't see why it wouldn't work.
Okay.
I mean, we've done this, and I've never seen it not work.
Wow.
So if you just relax your arms and shoulders, we're going to actually have you represent something. And I'll explain to you, and you don't need to do anything yet. I'll give you step by step.
Okay.
The mind has a fun way of representing data that are very intangible. Data that are required to, for example, bring back and restore the full power version of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the Shawn's tucked away, the original Shawn is tucked away, but it's actually like a program or a construct that you've put away, an identity piece. As soon as we can visualize that, we can interact with it.
Okay.
So we're going to have you visualize it and we're going to have you merge with it. But I'm going to show you a very specific process that not only will you see it merging, but you actually make sense of it.
Okay.
Now, so this is both a visual, kinesthetic, but also a logical process.
All right.
And once you're done, you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense why that worked. So now we would also visualize the current you, which is really easy because you probably just looked in the mirror this morning. It's easy. You did a video earlier. You've seen yourself today. So that's easy. Now, I'm going to have you do something for me. I know the room's a little chillier today because we turned the temperature pretty low, but I'd like you to lift up one of your arm that the old Shawn, the original Shawn would like to stand on. Of course, active imagination, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which hand would it be? That? Okay, perfect. Now I want you to take a slight lean forward and you can move your mic a little bit so that you have the space. There we go. Now I want you to have your palm definitely above the table. So at some point, you'll want your shoulders to come forward a little bit too, because your hands will come together as like a sign that the merge has occurred.
Okay.
Now you might say, wait, how does that even work? It's a representation. So we're basically tricking the brain to say, hey, look, this represents the old Shawn, and this represents the current Shawn. Yeah. So if you'd like to have the current Shawn, imagine standing on this palm, and you can lift up your arm. Yeah. And like this. Now you can sit there and you can still be pretty relaxed because the process will be pretty fast.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Questions may not make a lot of sense, but I want you to answer with your gut feeling, like first thought that comes to mind.
Okay.
And there will come a point where your arms will come together, your palms will come together. Naturally, like you don't need to actually consciously do that. What that means is your mind's communicating with your body, which is the domain of the unconscious, that these two identities merged. And you'll feel some feelings, probably, right? And then I'll give you the next step after.
Okay.
Push your mic forward just a little bit more. Yeah. Because what you'll end up doing, now you have space. Yeah. So if I may, I'm going to ask, what's the purpose of this Shawn? First thing that comes to mind.
Healer.
Ah. And make sure your shoulders are relaxed and come forward a little bit so that, because you definitely work out your chest. So I want to make sure that you have space for your arms to come together, right? So
love it.
Now, healer. It's a healer, you said?
Yes.
What's the purpose of being a healer?
To ensure people get the lifestyle that they want.
What's how would that make you feel, actually? People being able to do that?
Proud.
And
Proud of them.
What's the purpose of feeling proud?
My whole life, I've been a giver. I don't know where it comes from, but I've always made sure that people had everything else they needed before me.
Did you notice your hands started coming together?
Yeah.
Are you doing that consciously?
No, I just, whatever's happening is happening. It's interesting.
Okay. And so you've always been a giver. How does that make you feel?
It's when I feel my best outside of my wife.
Amazing. And what's the purpose of that, feeling your best?
When I'm at a point where I'm feeling my best, my cup is full to serve people at a higher level.
And how would that make you feel, being able to serve people at a higher level?
The word that comes to mind is just, it radiates through my body. Like when I get off a Zoom call and I have a man in tears and he's accepting that he needs to change, the feeling I have is like, I get off my chair and I'm like, yes, there we go. Another one.
Your hands are coming together. Are you noticing?
Oh, that's wild. Whoa.
Your identities are merging.
Deal. Holy cow.
And when you got off that phone and you got that feeling, what's the purpose of that?
To take it right back into another call.
And how would that make you feel to be able to continue to do that?
It's who I am. It makes me feel my best. And my wife said one time, I wish you had that feeling for me sometimes. And I do, but I don't show her. You know?
Well, this will make it easy.
Yeah.
So when you have that feeling and you feel that inside and you're able to show it to the most important people and they feel it, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel whole. It makes me feel forgiving the people that killed Riley was the right thing to do. It makes me feel unstoppable. And then it makes me question why I don't do it all in.
Wow. And having forgiven the people, right? Letting that go. And then you deciding that you can go all in. How would that make you feel?
I would think it would be the most peaceful thing in the world for me.
And
I don't think I'd have the turmoil that I have sometimes in the middle of the night. Some of the things that eat at me, I'm pretty sure that would probably go away.
They would, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And when that goes away, how would you feel?
Is that what peace would be?
And what's the purpose of feeling peace?
To enjoy everything for what it is. You know, you build this beautiful life, 30 years almost with my wife. And yet I'm not even the man that I could be for her. That peace adds into the drive that I can become for her and for people to lead, to be the leader, to make this a ripple effect. You know, changing a man's life doesn't just change his life.
Changes the whole family.
Changes the whole family. And then whose life does he go impact? And then whose life does he go impact? And it's just a ripple effect of all these things coming together.
I sense that millions of lives will be changed today because of you.
That would be wonderful.
So how would that make you feel, knowing that that's what you naturally do?
Complete.
Feeling complete. What's the purpose of that? Notice your hands are coming so close.
This is wild. And you keep bringing it up. I'm like, separate them. like there's this inner voice that goes, I look at this and go, separate your hands, Shawn. Like, why would I say that?
Don't worry
let
about
it happen.
Yeah, let it happen.
You know, this is, I don't know what to say right now. So there's a part of me that's actively trying to keep them apart.
Yeah, that's the vengeful one that's is fighting for survival. But it's about to get dissolved because the real Shawn comes back. That no longer exists. The moment the Shawn merges, the real Shawn merges, the vengeful Shawn disappears. And all of those nightmares, all of those problems disappear. And you can finally experience peace.
Let's do it.
So what's the purpose of that? Being able to help millions of people and feel amazing and at peace.
When I write it out, keeping families together, you know, getting men to show up. There are probably 10 years where I wasn't active with my wife.
Wow.
In our marriage. I was faithful. I cheated on my wife when we were 18. She knows it. But we were together for like 3 months. Since then, I've been faithful, but I have been absent to her. This part all comes together because I know how to help a man keep his wits, his honor, build a better home. Like, that's the vision. Build a stronger man that keeps these men together with themselves.
Wow. And how would that make you feel?
That's everything. That's the ultimate calling of why I build the businesses I do, to get me into more men's space. You know, working with the company I work now and what I'm building now with my business partners, because we get around more men. You know, we get around more men, we can serve them. We bring them in on the sexy. Let's help you make more money in your business. But then once they get indoctrinated to what we do, we're going to help them become better men.
You're literally saving the future of humanity.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate it very much.
If you look at the dominoes of what happens.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's no need to be humble here, because that's absolutely what you're doing. How would that make you feel when you're continuing to succeed and helping more men, keeping families together?
I have this this vision where it's a seminar with thousands of people, and it's husbands, wives, and children. That's it. It's not a hoorah session. It's not a hype show. It's not 19 speakers motivating people that they'll do nothing with. It's not exposure to what could be. It's all the people's lives have been impacted by the things that we'll go do with the companies and things that we're building. And the seminars for them. The husbands bring their wives and bring their children, and it's thousands of people there.
That's being authentic, what you just said. You can see it. That's all the things that the industry is not.
It's my number one goal.
When you achieve that, how does that make you feel, knowing that you're going to, and it's already done in the future? How does that make you feel?
When I get a glimpse of it, it'll wake me up out of bed. I've had dreams of it.
These are your new types of dreams.
Yeah.
These are going to be the consistent dreams.
That's what I would like. It's
It's about to happen.
Oh my goodness. Whoa. Oh man.
And when you have these dreams, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel when you have these dreams?
I wake my wife up.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. It'll be 2:30 in the morning. I'll wake her up and I'll tell her. And this is a trip. Yeah, she always listens.
Sounds like you have an incredible wife. Wow. Knowing that you have such a oneness with your wife and being able to share that vision and be able to continue to see that and serve people and live this incredible life, how does that make you feel?
I'm just so grateful. I didn't listen to some of the dark stories I would tell myself. I'm so grateful that I stayed faithful. I'm so grateful I get to build this on purity of actually doing it, not saying it, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say with these things, but we know behind closed doors what's happening. And I'm a flawed man.
Sure.
But the things that I preach and teach in business, I do live by.
One can be whole yet flawed. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to do these things and feel these feelings and actually do it, right? What's the purpose of all of this?
My grandmother told me, one day you will change many lives. I was 29 at the time, and I thought she was so crazy. I'm a automotive sales manager working at a car dealership. And my grandma told me I'll change lives one day. I'll speak on stages one day. And I've done that. But then she went on to say that I will have a massive effect and impact on families' lives. She said that when I was 28. And I'm like, this old woman's nuts. Yeah. Here we are, pushing forward towards that dream, you know?
So because something so magnificent has occurred in the future, it necessitates that we met and necessitate that your grandmother said those things to you.
Pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So knowing you're changing millions of lives, this is the inevitable. How does that make you feel?
The short-sightedness of me told you. Show all these guys that doubted me or said things behind my back and have come to self-sabotage. Like, but I let go of that. But sometimes it comes up. How does it really make me feel?
Yeah.
I knew all along it was supposed to happen, but I held myself back. Why did I not do it sooner? Pulling it off is going to make me feel like you finally lived to your full potential. And where do you go from there?
Wow. Notice that your hands are together.
This is something else. This is really interesting.
I think we're pretty much there, but I want to ask one final question.
Okay.
Knowing that the original, the most powerful, most giving, most loving Shawn, the complete version of Shawn is now integrating with you at this very moment as we speak. How does that make you feel? To know that you are going to be whole again now.
I'm praying inside, internally, with everything that I have, that it's going to happen. And I'm believing right now that it's happening. I'm forcing belief with a little bit of...
You won't need to believe me, because in a moment we're going to complete this process and you're going to see, you're going to experience it, and you'll notice the behavioral change.
Okay.
You'll notice what happens. And if you were to experience anything, it's the ocean coming all the way through.
Yeah.
So in one final moment, I'd like you to take your hands, notice that they've come together.
What the hell? This is weird, man. I don't have a vocabulary. Like, I don't have the words for this. Like, I don't know what to say. How did this happen?
Your body, your unconscious mind's telling you the ocean is merged back in. So you don't have to even consciously believe. Your body just showed you. Because you didn't do that consciously.
No.
Your body showed you.
There's a part of me trying to keep it apart.
Well, it's about to be not possible, because what we're going to do is we're going to have you close your eyes and let these parts that are merged come into the wholeness inside. So go and let it touch your chest all the way and stay there for a moment. I'm going to give you a few suggestions. Let this moment be the moment that all of the other parts that were once part of the larger whole come in and join in on the integration. Because the mind is now integrating not only the Shawn, the original Shawn, the loving, the giving, the soft, empathetic, wonderful, fun, goofy, the most wholesome person is now integrated to this now highly skilled, highly sophisticated, influential, persuasive, successful, genuine, and very, very much a leader of men. The two are now fully merged with all of the other parts that were once part of the larger whole, sharing powerful resources. And now from this moment on, this is the one Shawn, fully whole, fully integrated, complete Shawn. And the people in this world are cheering for you.
Wow.
And when this is all complete, let this be a sign, and let your eyes be open. Do you smell popcorn?
What is that?
You smell popcorn.
What is that smell or smell? Yeah.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Now you can move the mic back down and you can sit back. I mean, sit closer if you want.
Whoa.
How was that?
I've personally never experienced anything like that before in my life. There's a part of you that tugs away. No, don't let that hand move. But if you just let it happen and you just focus on you and answering, the fact that my hand moved and that happened, I don't know what to make of that. And so I love it. I'm impressed. I'm listening to your words. I've watched your stuff in the past, and I've started really writing a lot of notes, deep notes. And so to even be here was really cool. Like, I don't think anything, like things like this, they don't happen for anything other than a higher cause. Like, why am I here right now? Why have I been watching all your stuff, taking notes, implementing your stuff in my training, and then all of a sudden get an email to be here? Like I'm just weirded out right now. This is so cool. This is wild. I feel great. It's a really tingling thing that's happening in my body right now, all around.
It's amazing. Yeah. I feel blessed that I got to meet you today and actually do this, and that you were not only trusting enough, open enough, that you were literally fully ready to be aligned and integrated.
I've been searching for change. I've been wanting this, I know I've been holding myself back. I know it. I know I turned away a client because I didn't feel I could help him at the level I felt he needed help because of who they were. I turned down that client because of that. I made up a reason, made up some bullshit excuse. Didn't take the money because I felt I wasn't ready to take on what he needed. And I know I could have. I know I could. I know.
And now you definitely can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd hesitate to do it.
There will be millions of people like that will be ready for you. Yeah. I think if anything, that was a sign to make you aware of even more.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
things like that. See, to me, that's self-sabotage, right? I take that man that wants to give me the money to go into coach. He wants it. And I said, I think this man would be a better fit for you because of what he has built, who he is, right? I didn't think that I had a pedigree to serve him.
Ooh. Okay.
That's wrong.
Yeah, that's that's definitely wrong. But that's okay, because that's not happening ever again.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some very nice warnings for you if you're ready.
Yeah.
So I must say that after this process, some really magnificent things will begin to occur. It's not a guarantee, it's not a promise, but I'll give you 2 examples. I have a dear friend named John Matson, who...
I know John.
You know John.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I met him, he was living in Utah.
Yeah.
He was building his gym. And he came to me, he's like, hey, I've hired all these different people in the past, but it hasn't changed for like 8 years. And I'm like, I got you. That being said, I didn't expect this. He was like, I have this rainy day savings fund. After he paid me, he was like, here, because back then the program he signed up for was like 40 grand.
Mm-hmm.
He had like 50 left. I'm like, brother, what are you doing? Right? Are you sure about this? After he paid me, he told me. He's like, well, it's got to work. I'm like, you don't want to put that on me. But the point is, I knew he would succeed.
Yeah.
And the reason I knew was because I felt similar feelings about how ready he was to integrate. But there was a part of him that was pulling him back previously.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that John Matson and I did, also, we did it with his wife too, it was this process. And I think you know what happened.
I know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went and did something really great.
Indeed.
Absolutely special. It's a wonderful story.
One of the biggest things
yeah.
is when someone really step into who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not someone else. It's fully embracing themselves,
mm-hmm.
the real them. But too much of our lives have been trauma, negative experiences, problems of kinds that pull ourselves apart, not even us and others in our lives, but ourselves apart. But when the parts are integrated together and you feel whole again. Now, I don't know if you're religious or if you study the Bible. Mm-hmm. I'm not really a religious person, but I'm very aware that there's a story of healing in the Bible that says, be thou whole.
Yes.
That was the very statement that Jesus said.
Yeah.
Wholeness is one of the single most powerful things that a human can experience because it gives them total energy control. When that wholeness comes together, you won't have one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake.
Mm-hmm.
What goes, what you step foot on becomes your creation, and it goes all the way.
Yeah.
So I think you sense where it's going.
Yeah.
Another quick story, if I may.
Yes, please.
There's a guy named Jonathan, and I won't say his last name. He was in one of our previous episodes. We did something similar. And there was a time in his life he didn't have feelings because there was such trauma that happened. And the feelings, he completely suppressed it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jonathan that I met when I met him the first time was that Jonathan who didn't have feelings. And when I asked him, how do you live? He's like, everything is a chess move. It's all calculated. It's all strategic. And he's an incredibly intelligent man. So he could get by. He could pretend the emotions. He could do all those things. But I knew he wasn't really the real Jonathan.
Yeah.
He wasn't fully living his potential, right?
Yeah.
As he integrated, feelings came back.
Oh, what a rush.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not going to say too much about what he has accomplished since, like 2.5 years. But if you meet him in person at some point, which I'd love to introduce you at some point.
Okay.
He's one of the most influential men on the planet. We deliberately didn't say too much about who he was in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was more about his journey and personal experiences. But he's one of the most powerful men on the planet in terms of what he does. And not just what he does, but what he has influence over. So
fascinating.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine living with no feeling. Everything's a calculated chess move. I agree. It is a calculated move with a lot of the things that I do, but to not have feeling behind that, because I think that would be really hard, because I know that the gut feeling, right? Does he have none of that either? It's just calculated moves only?
That's what he said.
That's
no
so
feelings.
Hard. I can
now
imagine.
He's the most loving.
I love it.
So full of heart, right?
So
Everywhere
great.
he goes, people love him. People are like falling at his feet because they just feel loved and not judged.
Yeah.
It's a transformative experience being with him nowadays. And not just for me, like I got to witness this whole process, but people around him, for the first time meeting him, I'm like, wow, these people are like falling at his feet, appreciating the love that Jonathan radiates for them.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's a massive transformation, right?
Yeah.
And now, were there times that consciously he was like, oh, could this really be that easy? Like it just worked?
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten to a point where it's totally undeniable now.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the feeling was there, but the conscious mind sometimes have chatters.
Yes.
So even if you have chatters, the beauty of this process is that it does not require belief, because you didn't have to, no matter how much you believe, your hands weren't going to come together.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about belief. Your hands just came together because your body communicated to us that the merge occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll give you a little back history on this technique. It's actually fascinating.
Okay.
Now, my version of the story, I'm just going to say it carefully. This is what I have found to be the version of the story. Some may claim that there are other versions of the story, but I'm going to piece it together so it makes sense.
Okay.
So 1970s, there's a project, and the project was about splitting personalities. And you can actually find it in Freedom of Information Act if one can find it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can see these sort of shown in Born Identity, the movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, so the personality, A, does not remember what's going on. Personality B is the master personality. He knows he's a spy, but A has no idea. A thinks he's a loyal whatever, right? That's basically the original program, because they split the personality. One knows, well, one doesn't know, one knows.
Yeah.
The master personality, right? Well, out of that technique that was developed came the inverse of the technique, which merges personalities and merges the parts inside of the human mind. And I'm giving you the most unfiltered version of this, because so many people always talk about the therapeutic side of things, and we didn't do therapy. That was total personality engineering, merging the personality back together.
Yeah.
Now, if we talk about it in a more scientific way, right? But there are other forces at work in the most beautiful ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, I became fascinated in studying that, and I personally had an experience that I couldn't believe. I remember 2014. I was sitting in a room and I experienced this technique. No, 2015. And a part of me was like, a part of me believed that I could have a wonderful relationship and be with the woman, whatever the woman, the one, right?
Yeah.
And a part of me was like, no, that's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may seem like a silly belief. Why would I have that? But plenty of people have that.
Plenty. It's everywhere.
And to me, at that point, I thought I was just silly little me. Why would I have that belief? But I was like, no, this is really what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned this process inside of a training room, and they casually just taught us the technique, and I merged the two, and then I was like, oh, I will find the one. Now I was like uncertain if this worked or not.
Yeah.
4 months and 3 weeks later, right? A week shy of the goal. You've heard the story, right?
Yeah.
If you've watched my stuff, I found the one.
Yeah.
But this is a critical piece because I didn't just design her and install her. I removed the obstacle. The obstacle was my part inside of me that didn't let me meet the one. Now, I know you've got some goals. I know you've got some amazing things ahead. And I know that you've got the skills to achieve them. So the part of you that was holding you back no longer exists. And now you only have this, you can go all the way, full force, full version of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, what do you see happening next?
I was thinking about that subconscious, like as you were speaking, I have this thing that's going, okay, I feel something's happened. There's something inside of me that's different.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but as you were saying this, I'm like, this is going to take off because now the business partner that I have, what we've built, the deadline needs to be shortened. It's immediately what came to my mind. The 55-year-old Shawn, the goal at 55 for this massive event I want needs to happen at 50. I want to shave 5 years off of that. And I want to have that event for the families of the lives that are changed forever, where they come and we bring the wives into the journey with the husbands, and the children are understanding dad's businesses, and get these kids to understand we're going to take over mom and dad's company. Like, the vision's getting crystal clear of what I want now. And this is the vehicle, and this is what we're going to build is, let's take 5 years off of it. Now let's just do it at 50. I'm 46. I turned 47 this year. Let's do it at 50 instead of 55. Why do I have to wait the extra 5 years? That's what keeps playing. My goals have been elongated too long.
You're going to do it sooner. I can see it. I think you're being humble.
Humble?
I'm confident you're going to do it sooner. I can
49?
see it. I can see it.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll keep in touch with you and let you know what's going on.
Please do.
I'm going to push this thing. There's something that was holding me back, and I could feel it every day. I would start talking to myself over the last year. And so I started doing this deep research on it. Okay, how do I remove the limiting belief? How do I remove that false ceiling, whatever people want to call it? I can't say this again, but I have to find your videos 4 months, 3 months ago, and then now to be here and go through this experience when nothing else was working that I was studying. Like, I'm ready, man. Thank you. This means a lot to be here.
It was
like, how did my name come up? I'm questioning it. Like, how did this happen? Why am I here with you to do this process now? And it's divine. It's timing.
Something that you've done in the future.
Come together.
Something you've done in the future is so big, so magnificent, impacts so many lives. It necessitates that we meet.
Okay.
And I'm just a person who geeked out on these techniques and got really good at it. Yeah. I'm nothing special. What I have is allowing those who are really special to become the Neos of the world.
I got to show you my business logo.
Really?
Yeah, it's designed after the Matrix.
Oh.
I'll show you after the podcast. That is so funny. We did the Matrix theme for the company. Scale.
Wow. Wow.
That's so interesting for you to say Neo. That's wild.
Well,
colors and all, green, black, the shapes of the A, all of it. Yeah. Put a lot of thought into it because we're going to help the business owners escape the Matrix. Oh, you're wild, bro. That's so funny.
Well, welcome to Upgrade, my friend.
Thank you. It's an honor. I really appreciate this.
Likewise. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. And I know that we need to bring you back because I want to hear the next part of the story.
Okay.
And keep tabs on you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I will. I'll honor our time together for sure by doing the work.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
All right,
Looking
brother.
forward to it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wow.